So Danny Ings is set to replace Sergio Aguero at Manchester City. Really? This Danny Ings of Southampton to replace Sergio Aguero? You got to be having me on. Is it April Fool's today? Must be. It has to be. There's no reason in this world whatsoever that someone at Manchester City is sitting there who makes an executive decision in the footballing transfer policy that thinks Danny Ings is a suitable replacement for Sergio Aguero. Let's be honest here. What person in the world thinks Danny Ings can replace Sergio Aguero, the player who's arguably the best foreign player to ever grace the Premier League? Arguably one of the best strikers to ever grace the Premier League, to be replaced by 28-year-old Southampton striker Danny Ings. You cannot be serious. This guy has scored 8 goals in 22 games. And I'm not saying this is a bad footballer. This is not me slating Danny Ings. You know, he's probably a top fella. I don't know him personally, so I'm not going to slate him. And he's arguably a good striker. He's a good poacher. He's a good finisher. He will score some goals for your team. And at Southampton, he's almost like a big fish in a small pond. I don't mean that disrespectfully, but he's a good player for Southampton. But for Man City, you can't be serious. This is a team who are arguably the best team in the world right now, or in the top 3 best teams in the world right now. And we all know that Man City are in the need of a top striker. Erling Haaland has been linked with Man City, but now we're talking about Danny Ings coming in instead. And for me, that is a massive drop in quality. Erling Haaland, 20 years old, absolutely tearing it up in the Bundesliga for Dortmund, would be an ideal replacement for arguably one of the best strikers to ever grace the game in Sergio Aguero. And I think Sergio Aguero, he will be leaving in the summer, and I think it's the right decision for both club and player, and I'll be covering them thoughts in another video. But today, with Danny Ings, what a step down. There's something at Man City that I just don't understand sometimes. They signed some great talent in their team. They've got some really good players, but it's always subject to buying absolute shit. And I keep saying it, like, this is not against Danny Ings. I'm not saying he's a bad footballer. I'm not even saying he's a bad striker, but he's not at Man City's standard. If Man City want to be the best team in the world and win the Champions League, you don't do that with Danny Ings up front. Don't get me wrong, he will score more goals in his Man City team. He will create more chances for him, and he will put more goals away than he usually does for a team like Southampton. But if you put Erling Haaland in this Manchester City team, he scores more goals than Danny Ings. Fact. If you put Robert Lewandowski, not that I think they'll get him, but if you put Robert Lewandowski in this team, he'll score more goals than Danny Ings. That's the point I'm trying to make. Danny Ings is definitely, actually, he's 100% definitely not the standard that Man City should be accepting. You know, they brought in Nathan Ake, who I questioned last time, and he hasn't done anything in a Man City shirt. But at least with Nathan Ake, I understood why they brought him in. But Danny Ings, that would leave Man City with Danny Ings and Gabriel Jesus up front. Tell me what team in the world would fear that strike force. I tell you who, absolutely bloody nobody. If I'm Virgil van Dijk and Joel Matip, if I'm Varane and Sergio Ramos, I laugh. Because for them, to have them two up front, it's like having a bloody tank shooting out bubbles. And to be honest, I just don't understand it. I really don't. Man City bringing in Danny Ings is toothless. It's poor. It's a bad decision. When you got players like Erling Haaland out there, you got Harry Kane out there, you even got Romelu Lukaku, all proven goal scorers, all younger than Danny Ings. The only thing Ings has got going for him is the fact he's English. And that shouldn't be why Man City are picking him up. And if it's anything to do with finances because he's cheap, then use some part exchange players. Sell some players to bring in your Haalands, your Kanes, your Lukakus. You know, they've got so many good players, they can afford to lose 1 or 2 of them to bring in a top quality striker and avoid this whole Danny Ings situation. But that's just my opinion. Guys, let me know in the comment section down below. Should Man City be bringing in Danny Ings, or should they be turning their attention elsewhere? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, subscribe if you're new around here. Like the video if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys in another video.